So my name is Tasos Katsaounis. I'm the Director of Learning and Development for New Horizons Computer Learning Centers. I'm based here in Houston. We are one of the event sponsors today here at the ATD Houston Tech Conference. So very excited to be here. My group is responsible for developing custom content for our clients. So anything that's centric around their business that they don't have either the resource or the acumen to build and develop and implement themselves. We're a vendor partner that comes in and assists them through that process. So, over the last 20 years, I've had a chance to develop a lot of content, and as I've gotten into more of a manager role, if you will, I still get to play the part of a program manager on some of the larger projects. So I do get to see some of the e-learning that we develop for our clients, obviously. But I really enjoy the more innovative approaches, not your standard self-paced, articulate, or Captivate developed content. I like a lot of the micro-learning that we're doing for some of our clients and some of the adaptive learning that we're doing, some of the gamification, of course, that we're doing as well. We try to stay abreast of a lot of the new technical trends that are happening and that are occurring. Every year it seems to be a new buzzword, and everyone's looking for that latest and greatest, and so we'd like to stay on top of that to be able to deliver that type of solution for our clients. There's a lot of technology that has advanced over the last 4 to 5 years, and more and more of it is now you're seeing it in the workplace. For example, you're seeing more of the traditional daily mobile devices, if you will, now being incorporated into the workplace, like your typical iPhone, which you would never see in the last couple of years because of security issues, as they would put it. But now you're getting more leaders in the IT space that are becoming more and more secure and confident in some of that technology, and so they're implementing it into their workplace. Same goes with a lot of tablets and so forth. Even myself, I don't have a computer or a laptop. I operate off of a tablet. And it really helps me when I'm getting in front of a client and I want to demonstrate some of the work that we've done or be able to showcase something. It's a much easier transition for me to do that as opposed to lugging around a big laptop. But same goes with our industry. There's some of the technology has been there, but it's become more polished because of technology, and now we have labels that we can attach to them. So it's exciting to see that we've gotten a lot more technology involved in the learning and development space, specifically in e-learning. I think it's started to be recognized as an actual value piece and an ROI driven mechanism, if you will, for a lot of organizations, which is great because before in the past it wasn't looked at that way. You were the first to go when the quarter didn't look very good, and that's happened to me a few times. So I come to these events. I like to attend the ATD sessions and the conferences and so forth. I do a lot of online research. I also look at a lot of our competitors to see what they're doing so we can kind of stay on top of the latest technology trends that are out there, specifically in the e-learning space. A lot of our clients seem to be heading in that direction where they're focusing more and more on electronic learning in the workplace as opposed to your traditional classroom environment. It's just a lot of my own research in the background, whether it's through the web or whether it's attending conferences or whether it's also just kind of looking at competitors and what they're doing and seeing how we can stay on top of that and also compete to that level as well. With every generation that we see in terms of demographics of the audience that's receiving that e-learning, it seems to be we always have to modify it from every year to year to really adapt to their quote-unquote needs as a generation. So to me, it's exciting to see, we're learning so much about from the new millennial generation, as they don't like to be called, on specific learning needs and the way that they absorb information. So we've adapted to that in terms of incorporating micro-learning and adaptive learning and some of the other analytics that we discussed on the panel today. But I think it's going to be really interesting to see what the next generation of the workforce is going to bring and how that's going to modify and enhance, if you will, our industry. It's very beneficial in terms of just being able to stay on top of, trends and where things are going in the industry. I mean, it's a great organization to be a part of, especially from a peer perspective, to meet a lot of good peers and learn a lot about what's going on in the industry. In my opinion, if you don't participate in things like this and you're kind of kept in the dark and you learn a little too late in some instances. So it's to me, it's key and part of growing my career and growing our business line and our client base at New Horizons. I like participating in the panel. I think I spoke too long this year, but with that being said, I think I would say the fair question of that would be a healthy balance of both. The networking is very key and also very beneficial to any participant that comes from a career standpoint, and just also to kind of keep up, like we said, with the latest trends of what's happening in the industry. But the speakers are great because they can bring different perspectives from their respective organizations and the market that they work in specifically, that you may not be aware of or privy to because of where you work out of and what you work in terms of clients and so forth in this part of the space. So I like both personally. I like the good balance. We did meet prior to really kind of discuss how we were going to handle the discussion, what topics were going to be assigned to which speaker, and we have a lot of good interaction. It was a good group. I've offered to speak at future engagements, so I would love to do it again, and it was a real honor for me to be here today. I really did appreciate it.